We still got hella fucking Walls coverage, but I want to hear what Ben has to say. He made the sweatiest Waltz clip.
The debut of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz on the national stage, and we saw Kamala Harris introduce him. So obviously, very, very high energy event. Kamala Harris is bringing out gigantic crowds. Democrats are, in fact, enthused. They brought out Josh Shapiro for a little bit of a consolation run. He yelled a bit.
I don't get it. Like, why is he writing for Josh Shapiro? Why is he wet? That's my first question. My first question is, why is he wet? Second question is, oh my God, how much makeup does he normally use? I'm just noticing a lot of lines on his face now when he's not in the regular setting that he's in. And last but not least, why the fuck are these guys acting like they, one, really love Joe Biden and were mad that he was swapped out, and two, really love Josh Shapiro and are mad that the Democrats didn't go with Josh Shapiro? There is no better example. There is no better example that the Dems did a good thing again than all of the Republicans collectively being like, well, I sure think you guys are anti-Semitic for not going with Josh Shapiro.
And his voice broke, and he talks a little bit about being Jewish, which gave Democrats cover to ignore the fact that the explicit reason they did not pick him is because he's a Jew. And then Kamala Harris did an entire speech in which she really didn't talk about politics very much.
It's so funny. It's like, are they going to be like, yeah, that's why they didn't like Bernie Sanders? Is that what they're going to say next? Like, the Democrats actually rat fuck Bernie? My favorite thing that I already see happening on the timeline is Republicans who are the best at cry bullying turning around. You know what? Let me finish this Ben Shapiro video, and then we'll get to the couch fucking joke that Tim Walz made. Okay? Because they're mad. Okay? Obviously, Republicans are always mad, but they're extra mad now. But we're going to get to that in a second.
It was just mostly about unity. She actually tried to channel Barack Obama / 2008, circa 2008. She was talking about red states and blue states. She was talking about how she was going to govern for all Americans. And then she gave you the background on Tim Walz. And apparently, according to Kamala Harris, the relevant stuff about Tim Walz is not that he presided over the burning down of Minneapolis and, in his own words, abjectly failed to stop that from happening. It's not that he has praised socialism. It's not that he's blown out the budget to the tune of a 40% increase in the last year. It's not that he has presided over extraordinary fraud in the state of Minnesota. Of course, you wouldn't expect her to say any of those things. If you go back far enough, he was a high school football coach. And don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. You know, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch.
Bro, he's mad that Walz is too good.
In favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls for a chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering USA. And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me...
I like that Ben Shapiro is mad that, like, America is a country where, like, you can be middle class, like, single, like, born into a single mother family, like, raised by a single mom, and, like, one day run for president as like a black Indian woman. And that is like the reason why Ben doesn't like America. It's the one thing he hates about America. He's like, I wish America wouldn't allow those sorts of things. So he's just like upset. Okay.
Middle-class person, or Tim Walz, middle-class person, can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now, I agree with that, but she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz. Tim Walz said back in 2000.
You know, those two things can still coexist, right? Systemic racism can still exist, and people from marginalized backgrounds can still thrive in the country. It's like some of the best aspects of America and some of the worst aspects of America. Also, the reason why you love America, because of the second thing. You love America because of systemic racism that you routinely deny even exists, and you get paid a lot of money to do that denial.
2020, that he believes that those riots were a reflection of the great evil that America represented. And yet here they are doing the unity routine. And that's what is so false about all of this, is this idea that these folks are real reminders of what brings us together, that what they are really interested in more than anything else is governing for all Americans. They are radically to the left. This is why the Trump campaign has a moral obligation to remind the American people that these people are radically to the left.
I need Ben Shapiro to explain to me how policies such as paid family leave and medical leave, and policies such as free breakfast and lunch programs for all school children in public schools are actually somehow magically harming Republicans. Like, is he claiming that these policies actually are written in a way where, like, if you're like a Republican, if you're like a Ben Shapiro viewer as a school kid, you don't get the free lunch? Is that what he's saying? Like, what is this argument? Like, oh, these radical policies. It's like, point to the policies, Ben. Tell me why it's bad. Because they never talk about it.
Okay, so that's all the intro to Tim Walz. Then Tim Walz gets up, and he's quite good. I mean, let's just be frank about this. Tim Walz gives a speech, and the speech is avuncular, and it's charming. He's smiling the whole time. He doesn't look uncomfortable smiling.
Decision Desk calls Wesley Bell winning the Democratic primary for the U.S. House of Missouri and 1st Congressional District another W for AIPAC, even though last time this happened, I think, Corey, if I'm not mistaken, it might be too early still, but we'll see. Let's continue with Ben, and we'll get back to that.
He attacks J.D. Vance. He attacks Donald Trump, of course. The lowest point of the speech is his attempt to signal to his base that he'll take the gloves off with J.D. Vance. He makes some sort of dumb joke about J.D. Vance getting up off the couch, which is supposed to be a joke about a meme that was going around the internet about a false passage that
he's against free lunch.
So Ben Shapiro is school.
That kids from hunger. Wouldn't it make sense to strengthen food stamps and have school lunch be free since some kids are in school lunch debt? Well, I mean, if you are a parent, school lunches are not going to solve the problem of child hunger at any serious level. If there is a problem of children actually...
That's wrong. That is literally wrong. You're just wrong. Okay? You're so wrong. Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome. I love these fucking sociopathic, bloodless monsters genuinely advocate against policies that virtually every Republican in the fucking state are on board with.
Starving, that is a child endangerment scenario to which CPS needs to be called. If you're talking about like actual child starvation, the truth is it does not take that much.
He's like, yeah, if you're poor, if you're broke as fuck, okay, and you rely on government subsidies of any kind, including but not limited to like having the government take care of 2 fucking meals for your child, then Child Protective Services has to come in and kidnap your child. Please, dude. This is what I always mean. This is why it's so good when you actually do progressive economic policies, because these fucking bloodless monsters, these bloodless sociopathic monsters have to explain their worldview. And when they do that, you can just literally fucking show the world what they think. You can show the world what they think. No Republican with a child who's going to fucking school is going to hear that and go, yeah, no, I actually think that's a good idea. I'm telling you, that's weirdo behavior, dog. That's weirdo behavior. Don't let them run the fucking table on issues that they have already successfully captured the American audience on. Force them to openly explain away their psychopathic, bloodthirsty, bloodless, soulless, sociopathic worldview.
Much money to feed a child. I know I have 3 of them. You should be feeding your child before you feed yourself. It's that simple. There's a much deeper problem at work than school lunches if kids are legitimately starving.
That is uniquely psychotic.
Kyle, this hair is crazy. Anyway, bro, that's great. That's great. That's his policy, dude. That's his policy solution. Hey, parents, we're going to kidnap your fucking children, dude. Small government, by the way. I love small government. Hey, man, are you too broke? Are you broke? Do you not have a fucking multi-gorillion dollar media company like I do, where I just chirp about dumb shit all day? Then you should fucking have your children be kidnapped. Great fucking take, man. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. Let's continue with Ben Shapiro. I want to see what else he has to say because he's like really, let me tell you, from the people that brought to you, Barack Obama is a Muslim Kenyan terrorist, okay? And basically ran with that, by the way, and voted for a guy who repeated those insane racist conspiracies, is going to be the cry bullying, okay? Oh my God. I love the cry bullying coming from the Republican Party. They, on a daily basis, lie about everything. Their policy positions are built on top of hysterical lies, oftentimes racist, vitriolic sentiment. Okay? Hysterically racist, vitriolic sentiment. But then beyond that, they also lie about all manner of different things. This is the party that said Paul Pelosi was gay lovers with David DePipe. Okay, who broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and tried to fucking kill Paul Pelosi and kidnap him. They very much ran with that, okay? They did. Now, they might have been right on that. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop saying that David DePipe and Paul Pelosi were in a gay relationship. I'm going to stop doing that, okay? But like these guys who regularly lie all the fucking time about every single thing, now they're going to turn around and be like, JD Vance never fucked the couch, and it's really messed up that Tim Walz actually brought up the couch thing.
It doesn't exist in Hillbilly Elegy. Supposedly, JD Vance having some sort of sexual relationship with the couch is really stupid, but it's become a Democrat meme, and now you've got the vice presidential contender who's actually throwing that out there in public. Wink, nod. He even stopped and said, "You can see what I'm doing there." And that's the.
Here's the video, by the way. Let's roll the clip.
I got to tell you, I can't wait to debate the guy. That is, if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. So, you see what I did there?
He's such a dad, bro. That is such a... Dude, he has the vibes. Sorry, it puts a smile on my face because it's like a lot of old head Hasanabi fans know I love that classic like dad joke. I love classic dad jokes because of that Applebee's TikTok. Yeah, like the fucking, I guess they let anybody in here. Like he had that locked in the chamber, dude. You can tell. Look at his face. He had that locked in the fucking chamber. Now, before you go, I guess Democrats are also running with fucking, I guess Democrats are running with the fucking Twitter memes as well. So the Democrats are using Twitter talking points too. No, dog. He knows JD Vance didn't fuck a couch, okay? He's joking. There's a difference between that and then some dude seriously being like, he's a Somali. He genuinely changed the flag of Minnesota to look like the Somali flag. Yeah, he's the crypto Somali VP. Anyway, let's continue. So that's what he was chirping about. And it is pretty funny. It is pretty funny that these guys will turn around and be like, I can't believe that they're making fun. I can't believe that they are saying these really mean things about JD Vance. How dare they? Right? And I saw a couple tweets on the timeline of them being like absolutely nutty about this shit. Hold on. I'm going to pull it right now. Let me see. Hold on. Here it is. Here's number one from the Majority Report. Slandering someone based on a shitpost is indeed propagating misinformation and is very bad behavior. And this is very bad story. Instead of Republicans are complaining story, if I made a concerted effort. And this guy turned around and did. I've seen the video. At Tim Walz fucks the top of the standard issue orange traffic cone. Raw dog. Crazy thing about it, he's like freely suspended over top of it. The base of the cone is supporting all of his weight. Doesn't make any sense, but it's impressive. Yes, he was trying to make a joke. This is a conservative man attempting to make a joke. The other thing that Osita actually put forward pretty well was this. So this is slandering someone based on a shitpost is indeed propagating misinformation and really bad behavior. And it would be a this is very bad story instead of Republicans are complaining story. If I made a concerted effort to go on TV and imply Governor Walz fucked a traffic cone. Yes, I know that you're a prude who can't take a joke if you point out that telling lies about a public figure fucking inanimate objects is bad and juvenile, and it's such a fun treat because the public figure can't defend against it without elevating it and debasing themselves. All the misinformation reporters can go fuck traffic cones. So she said that, and Osita quote tweeted and said, exactly zero interest in hearing from people who spent the last 15 years on TV shows aimed at convincing old people Democrats are going to do Sharia law about this joke. Sorry. I'll be fully willing to reconsider the propriety of the couch joke if it leads to a terrorist attack on Congress, as they're trying to certify an election. I'm not unreasonable. The right should be thanking Jesus every single day that the Democratic Party is run by people whose idea of responding in kind to years of fully unhinged and depraved Republican rhetoric and misinformation is a goofy little meme, and the word weird couldn't be me. Yeah, meanwhile, Stephen Miller is saying, under the Harris-Walz plan, they're going to turn the entire Midwest into Mogadishu. So that is a perfect representation of like how unimaginably unhinged the right is on a daily fucking basis. This is exactly like when they tried to turn around and say that calling Trump Hitler is the reason why he got shot by a registered Republican, mind you. Okay? Like what are we doing? Democrats are pussies. I wish they would be more aggressive in their fucking language, dude. What are you talking about? And yeah, the reason the couch fucker thing worked was because it was an organic shit post with no strings attached. It was just purely for shits and giggles. They can't just take that fallout and turn it around. It's too transparent. Exactly. They still call Michelle Obama a man. Still. Anyway. But they are the number one cry bullies. And Ben Shapiro is doing that right now. Because he's such a little gross little piece of shit.
The whole idea here. Meanwhile, don't worry, he's bringing Americans together. Now, at no point were the challenges that actually faced the country ever brought up. The challenges, apparently, according to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the big challenges are that Obamacare might get repealed. That's like the big challenge. The big challenge is that Donald Trump might ban abortion, which, of course, he has said he is not going to do and has no interest in doing.
Yeah, that's crazy because, like, Donald Trump has always been so honest about his policy positions, and so is the Republican Party famously, which is why every single Supreme Court of the United States justice appointment that Donald Trump made actively lied to the entire American population, and the Congressional Senate, the Senate Judiciary Committee, when they claimed that they would not overturn Roe v. Wade and that it was a super precedent. Okay? That's right. They did that. They lied about that. So why the fuck would anybody ever believe them? Oh my God.
At no point was there any talk about fixing the economy. Apparently, the big threat to the economy is the Donald Trump tax cuts, according to Tim Walz. And if those tax cuts were to continue, people might be able to keep more of their own money. And that is a serious, serious problem. Meanwhile, you have Kamala Harris out there. No mention of the fact the Middle East is on.
Once again, hit this line every time. Republicans hit this line. I know that I said that, like, this is what the Republicans should be running on actively. When someone asked me, like, how would you advise the Republican Party? And the counter to it is perfect, which is, you want corporations to get more tax cuts? Are you out of your fucking mind? You give the working poor $5 off, and then you let the fucking billionaires run the table. The amount of their like real income that they're being taxed on at the end of the year is like 0.3%. Okay? The average American's real income that is being taxed at the end of the year is like 37%. Okay? It's fucking abysmal how little the wealthy pay taxes. Shut the fuck up.
On fire, no mention of foreign policy, no mention of exactly why the Biden administration seems to have taken the side of Iran in the Middle East. None of that, of course. No serious dealing with issues. And that is the theme of this campaign. In the end, that's the theme of this campaign. Ignore everything. Ignore all of the activities of the Biden campaign and the Biden-Harris administration. Ignore all of it. Ignore Tim Walz's tenure as governor. Ignore all of it. They are casting a TV show. And in this TV show, you have the very charming Kamala Harris, who apparently is filled with joy. That's the other thing that we learned.
That's another great take. He's seething so hard. He's like actually mad that they look good, that they're telegenic, and that he's stuck with Donald Trump. Okay? That's great, man. Yeah, he's just don't watch it if it's just a TV show, big dog.
Here. So you got the words unity and you got a lot of joy. According to Tim Walz. Kamala Harris is not weird. Right? That crazy laughter, that stuff, not weird. That's joy. The weird dancing and the strange motions, that's not weird. That's joy.
Okay, give me the clip, chat. Aiden Ross with Donald Trump. Come on. I know you have it. I know you have it dialed in, okay? Remember, Kamala Harris is weird because she laughs a lot and she dances, right? But Donald Trump, on the other hand, very normal. That's why when he went on Aiden Ross's kick stream on the pedophilia platform, okay, and then did this,
you could already see the
did all this shit, that was very normal.
system where we
And right now they don't have that.
no, we're not going to drive anywhere.
Okay, come on. This is everything but the actual dance. Please show me the dance. The funniest part about this is that, like, Aiden Ross looks exactly like young conservatives now. Like, when he put this fit on, he looked exactly like the YAF boys, you know, the Young Americans for Freedom boys that you see. Like, the most annoying person at every college campus. Like, he turned into that instantly. He looks like such a little groiper, dude. Holy shit. Not weird. Not weird, man. Very normal. You need the original video with no music. Steak ad, by the way. Yeah.
Joy. And if you don't understand that it's joy, it's because you don't understand joy. Okay, so again, all of this is pablum. It's crap. It's insulting crap for people who actually follow politics. But what I fear is that most Americans do not follow politics. And this is why, once again, it is incumbent on the Trump campaign to remind Americans of who these people are. Nobody has ever heard of Tim Walz. They don't know that he presided over the burning down of Minneapolis. They do not understand that Tim Walz, who had people chanting, "Mind your own business," at this rally, literally forced everyone to close their business in the state of Minnesota during the pandemic. He was one of the worst lockdown governors in America. It's up to Donald Trump and team to remind people of that. The media are not going to do it.
It's just odd because he's, like, seemingly very popular. Like, Ben doesn't seem to think so, but, like, the people in his own state do think that. Like, they think he's popular. They like him. I don't really understand. Like, how about you mind your own fucking business, bitch? What do you mean? The fuck do you mean?
And as much...
Yeah, people sure do know who Tim Walz is now. Tim Walz's first favorably numbers are plus 13 for the record. Like, after he got unveiled, I believe the campaign also personally fucking dumped another 10 million. Do all these talking head idiots actually believe all these lies, or are they all just grifters? Ben is a bit column A, column B. Like, I think he believes some of the lies, and I think that he also is you know, lying despite the fact that he doesn't believe it. He's seen as a kind of moderate, just normal Minnesota. Yeah, like, a lot of the policies he's pushed for and signed into law are not, like, insane things. They're good things that everybody likes.
Much as conservatives like I will complain that the media are not doing their job. Of course they're not doing their job. Because what we think their job is, you know, to do journalism, is not what they think their job is, which is to provide cover for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz long enough that they enter the White House. So let's not make a mistake about this. The Tim Walz pick, it's going to have a lot of vulnerabilities that Trump can attack, but Trump has to do the attacking. There's certainly enthusiasm. There's certainly talent on the left side of the aisle. People forget that Kamala Harris on the stump can be quite good. We've seen so many clips of her being a weirdo that it's easy to forget that she actually got ahead in politics by being pretty good on the stump, at least from 2019 on or so. She hasn't met the road yet. The rubber has not met the road. She's not been asked a tough question. But Republicans are going to have to do that. I don't want to open my YouTube and see 100 Kamala Harris, Tim Walz ads. The Trump campaign needs to be dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into introducing the Harris-Walz.
How the fuck do you not have... dude, why is he so sweaty? He's so wet and mad. It's weird. What is this? Minnesota woman nails why people like
Tim Walz
Walz?
was selected as the VP pick, and I've been predicting this for weeks, but let me tell you why it's making me really emotional. After getting to know Tim Walz for the last few weeks, I have realized something, and it's very profound. He represents the dad that a lot of liberal women lost. A lot of us had moderate to conservative, educated, sensible fathers that we lost to Rush Limbaugh, that we lost.
I mean, God, I hate narratives like this. It's just like I get what she's saying, to each their own, you know? So people are not very aware of Tim Walz, which is why Fox News immediately started dumping a shitload into hitting him and being like, oh, he is a fucking rabid socialist, whatever, radical, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Which is precisely the reason why the Democrats should immediately tout his really, really, really progressive record. And a lot of the narrative around Tim Walz by educating Americans on his background. That's it. The problem with the comparison between Tim Walz and JD Vance is that JD Vance, people do know him and they fucking hate him. In February, 55% of Minnesota voters gave Walz a positive approval rating, while 39% said they disapproved of him. Okay? 55% positive approval rating, 39% disapproval rating for Tim Walz. Okay? That is objectively better than JD Vance, whose approval rating is underwater by 24 points. Frame his policy as what it actually is and drag the right towards the real center? Yes. Let's finish this off.
Team, the radical duo, the bail out the rioters from prison candidate and the governor who didn't want to put them in prison in the first place. They need to introduce that team to the American people, because if the only team the American people see is the team that was at that rally, that's very good news for Democrats.